Okay, I can do it. Ready? Riffin's executive producer, Lucas Zalduendo. And Lucas has a competition for work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell him the 3 ingredients we have to use for this dish.
So it's pineapple, mushroom, and Swiss chard, or rainbow chard, or
whatever you want to call it.
Chard, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I'm not even sure what that is, but we went to the store and bought it. So
yeah, so now we know what it is. I think the pineapple and the mushrooms both are awesome ingredients for fried rice, and I've been meaning to do a fried rice video anyway, so I figured that'd be a perfect opportunity to do that. We're also going to use a lot of garlic. I think we've got some limes we need to use up, and I think the lime juice will go really well with the pineapple.
Okay.
And then we've got some thick cut bacon. You could also use ham or spam or anything like that. I feel like it's some sort of a pig product and pineapple go together perfectly. So, and then of course for the fried rice, Lucas was kind enough yesterday to cook some rice off and then let it dry in a sheet pan for several hours. You could also just use leftover like Chinese restaurant rice. It's not ideal to use it fresh, just because.
Why not?
The starches, this is not a scientific answer, but the starches I think kind of like seize up a little bit when you let it dry. Rice is always going to have a bunch of starch in it. It's always going to soak up those flavors, but you want it to kind of hold a form. And so it's a texture thing.
Cool.
So, I think we're ready to get after it. Let's do it. All of a sudden, Lucas has a pineapple in his hands. I'm going to have you cut that up into just kind of bite-sized fried rice pieces. You know, something real
like
small.
A half inch or something? Or?
Yeah, that sounds right. So we've got our pineapple all chopped up. Thank you, Lucas. One note, we forgot to cut out the core. Lucas just pointed that out. The core is going to be a lot less sweet. That's one of the bad ones, right?
Yeah.
But
it's not terrible.
yeah, it works. So
like
if you have the wherewithal, take the core out, unlike we did. Next, I'm going to have Lucas get to chopping this bacon. I'd say just chop them into about yay big pieces. While Lucas does that, I'm going to grab another cutting board. This very sexy cutting board I got from my brother. Thanks, Pat. So Lucas has got this bacon cooking. It's been cooking for about 10 minutes, you say?
Yeah.
Maybe not quite. On medium-low heat. We've got a few different types of mushrooms we're going to use. I'm going to have you, while that bacon is finishing, Lucas, cut up some of this Swiss chard.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to use my brand new Mezzaluna, these knives that make either pizza cutting or also chopping like this a lot cooler and more fun.
B-roll. And that's when we'll cut to the B-roll.
So we've got our mushrooms super finely chopped. If you saw any of the mushroom medley videos we posted, this will be a familiar form of mushroom. I kind of want just the flavor of the mushrooms, not as much big chunks of them, except on top we'll just kind of sprinkle a few on the fried rice. But actually in the fried rice, I just kind of want to use the flavor. So we've got that, we've got the Swiss chard. Swiss chard, as I was telling you before, I just haven't cooked with it, so maybe it's better than I think it is, but it just seems like one of those menu items that either is good for cooking competitions because it forces you to try to get creative, or it's, you know, it sounds like you're a foodie if you put Swiss chard on a menu, right?
Okay.
That's my opinion right now. Who knows? And then we've got the bacon cooked off, and we're gonna drain we're gonna drain the bacon.
How do you drain the bacon? Do you just pour the oil?
Well, now that you're lifting it up, we're gonna do the fried rice in a wok. So why don't you just pour that the way you're doing? Yep, yeah, exactly. So pour a lot of that oil in there. Yeah. So we get a little bit more oil in there. We're gonna take the rest of that and fry off those mushrooms. But in the meantime, we're just gonna set this bacon aside. We've got the rest of that bacon grease going. Let's put that up to medium-high heat and then give it just a little bit more oil because those mushrooms are gonna need a good bit of oil.
Okay. That's a lot more than I would have expected.
Yeah, because they're just gonna soak that up. I mean, these are gonna shrink down a lot. And you know, we're using a decent amount of oil, but we're gonna make a ton of fried rice. And oil is one of the greatest things about fried rice. Gross.
It's
I don't
good.
like raw mushrooms.
You don't like mushroom?
Not raw.
You're missing out.
More for you, baby. Alright. So while you get some footage, I'm gonna toss these mushrooms in the hot oil. Ooh, nice and sizzling. And in the meantime, we can chop our garlic.
Harder,
That's
harder,
nice.
higher. Yeah, working, baby. Working for that.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, maybe I'll get some shots of you and your face.
What, this face?
Yeah.
The big thing about fried rice, it comes together really quickly, just like any sort of stir fry. So you just need everything done. So even if you're not a big preparation person, you kind of got to be with a dish like this. So we've got all our pieces, and we've got that bacon grease. I think that's enough for now. It's about, what do you think, a couple tablespoons? And we've got our heat on medium-high, and in goes the rice. The rice is going to be the first thing that we're going to cook off here, just to get it all coated in that oil and to get some texture. Rice, in. So we'll give that a few minutes to just cook in that bacon grease. And I can already tell the rice is going to soak up a lot of that oil, so we want a little bit more. So the mushrooms are going to be the next thing in. And I've seasoned those mushrooms with a little bit of soy sauce off camera. You don't need to season them. So we're starting to get some texture. I'm going to create a little hole. Put a little bit more oil in there. And then in with our garlic. You want to make sure there's just some liquid in there or that you have it on low heat. I want to keep this heat high, so I'm just going to stir the garlic into the rice. And you kind of just want to season the rice throughout the process. So I'm starting with a little bit of soy sauce. That also kind of deglazes, and again, make sure that you're ingredients aren't burning.
That's looking good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go in with a little bit of lime right now. I'm going to take our ugliest looking lime. And just toss that in. We're going to add a little bit more lime towards the end.
Okay. You're just trying to get a baseline flavor?
Yeah, exactly. Next, I'm going to throw in our pineapple. Garlic and pineapple, I think, go really well together. They're both used, as far as I know, in a lot of Filipino cooking. Pineapple, I think, is going to be kind of the star of the show. And it's hard, I think, for a pineapple not to be a star of the show. You're with me on pineapple going on pizza, right?
I love pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
But I also just love pineapple in general, so it's hard for me
Exactly.
to imagine a place where I wouldn't want pineapple.
I'm with you. Bacon. In. So the last couple ingredients that are going in here are going to be my scallions.
You're making this
I
a
don't got
different
no
kind of
problems with
YouTube
it.
channel.
Okay. Swiss chard goes in. I actually think the Swiss chard will be nice. It'll give it a little bit of texture. I might have been hating on it a little bit too much.
Some crunch,
Some crunch. Mix that in.
a little color.
And then for this amount of fried rice, I'm going to go with 2 eggs. So now we want that off heat.
Oops. I was filming all of that except that. Alright, I'll get this one.
So there's a couple schools of thought on how to add the fried egg to, or how to add the, essentially a scrambled egg to the fried rice. I like this one, where you just kind of make it into a scramble first, so that it doesn't make it all soggy.
Mm-hmm.
You make a little pocket
Right,
to the
so you
side.
like mix it in.
It's not the end of the world if
Yeah.
you do that, but I like getting it a little bit of structure before I end up mixing it in. And I know this is going to need a little bit more soy sauce that would be tasting.
Just based on color.
And just the amount I put in there. I put in probably a teaspoon earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know that's not going to be enough. So I'm getting that into a good enough scramble that I'm comfortable mixing that up. A little bit of sesame oil. I put this in just about every Asian dish I've ever made, probably. So we're ready for a taste. I'll let you do the honors.
Ooh,
I want you to tell me what it means.
that's pretty good.
What do you think? A little bit more soy?
More like
Lime?
saltiness, I guess. So
Okay.
maybe that's soy.
Yeah, that's the only thing we're using to season this is the soy. I'm also going to put a little bit more lime in there.
Yeah.
Do we need a little sweetness or no?
No, I think the sweetness is fine with the pineapple.
Okay. And Chefo Jameso's secret sauce.
You want some maple syrup?
Maple syrup. And just a tiny bit. We're putting like not even a teaspoon probably. But I think that's going to go really well with the pineapple and kind of bring out its sweetness. Stir that for me. The final thing we're going to add is our scallions.
Oh, son of a...
Oh,
You have to pick those out. We gotta get the B-roll.
ready?
Yeah.
And to plate this,
Can we move it over this way? Oh, wow.
so thanks to some help from our executive producer, Kitchen Riffin brings you pineapple, mushroom, Swiss chard fried rice.